Soaring home prices are fueling our shortage of teachers.
And it doesn't make sense for teachers to continue to teach when they can't afford to live here.
Our shortage of healthcare workers.
The ones that are going to suffer are the people that I serve, and that's very heartbreaking to me.
And a shortage of builders we need to build new homes.
But nothing's changing. It's only getting worse.
And driving people much farther from work, causing more gridlock traffic. Our transportation, education, and healthcare challenges all tie into the affordable housing crisis.
They're making it impossible for anybody to get a step up.
Which brings us to the challenge with politicians we elect to fix it.
Most of your legislators are an inch deep and a mile wide when it comes to public policy.
And some of their results you may not believe.
In other words, we're subsidizing the developers to build units
that they would have already built anyways.
We investigate hundreds of millions in tax dollars going to what state lawmakers call affordable housing and what they really mean when they say that.
So developers get subsidized to then turn around and charge more than the going rate?
Yeah. When you state it that directly, yes, it's that embarrassing, yeah.
Today's Lily's 12th birthday. I'm just happy I get to celebrate her for another year, even though it's a reminder of what's to come.
All across Florida, this is the story of children with severe disabilities and rare diseases.
He's probably like 1 in 63 in the world that we know of.
And a state government missing in action.
You have to be on the wait list.
And almost half of the people on the wait list have been on it for over a decade.
People are going into adulthood and still on the wait list.
It's a problem and a Fox 13 investigation more than 20 years in the making. I'm Craig Patrick, and I started covering the state backlog for home-based care in 2005. Through 4 governors, the crisis mounted.
Even with this large infusion of funds, the waitlist continues to grow, and APD reverts unused cash each year.
Now we'll show you how it's reaching a breaking point.
He broke his back in 5 places.
It makes me angry.
As thousands of families are waiting for help.
The money is there. Why not distribute it to us? We need it.
60 years ago, state troopers beat women and children who marched for the right to vote.
I thought they were killing the people down front.
And African Americans must take outlandish tests just to register to vote.
On occasion, they were asked to count the number of bubbles in a bar of soap, the number of jelly beans in a jar.
And now we've moved from that to an age in which young voters may not even believe such things could have ever happened.
It bothers me that our kids today do not know how freedom was won and what the cost of that freedom was.
This is the story of how courageous students drove change.
They were ready to die for the right to vote.
I'm Craig Patrick, joining you from the famous Ocklawaha River. For the next half hour, I would like to take you all along one of the most beautiful rivers in the world. But we can't.
It's very devastating to realize what was there and what was lost.
This is the story of one of Florida's greatest natural treasures crushed and mangled.
It looked like a war scene. That's the closest analogy I can come up with. It looked like it had been bombed.
By the failures and follies of the Cross Florida Canal.
It's a waste of money. We're throwing money into a rat hole.
And it created a long-running controversy that's coming to a head.
So the Rodman Dam is 55 years old, and it is a 50-year-old shelf life. And so any day now, something is going to happen.
And it all starts some 90 years ago with an ill-conceived plan that became Florida's boondoggle. Well, our government made a big mistake that burned taxpayers and damaged our environment over and over again.
I feel like a lot of people are getting robbed.
First, robbed by hurricane surge, blistering winds, and fires on streets too flooded to extinguish.
The fire truck couldn't get back here to help us.
Then burned again by deductibles needed to rebuild that can cost $10,000 to $20,000 or more.
I was going to have to mortgage my house out just to pay my deductible.
And then when policies come up for renewal, the next bomb hits.
$17,000. And it's actually a 120% increase from last year.
We helped this man save nearly $10,000. And for the next half hour, we'll show you tips and tricks the insurance companies may not want you to know.
Well, we were told that if we put my husband's name on the policy first, that they could save us $300 more.
If you're fed up with soaring home and auto premiums, you came to the right place.
The VA says yes. Right. But the VA says no. Right.
They knew all the way back then, they just chose to ignore.
How could they if you yourself ignored it?
Well, that's where somebody should have done their homework.
I don't know how anyone that knows that this happened to someone can just go to sleep at night and be okay with it.
Our government failed the men and women who fought for it. The President, Congress, and VA have ordered change, but a lot of veterans are still fighting and still suffering in our continuing investigation of forgotten heroes and the war at home.
You keep me here, I almost died.
This deaf man from Tampa said he could not hear his own trial.
How? You blame me?
And he's still in prison after his brother confessed to framing him for murder.
He was played as a patsy and he frankly fell right into it.
Okay, Robbie.
This man successfully appealed his conviction, was freed from prison, and turned his life around.
He's got us going to church. He's got us, involved in the schools.
So how could the state send him back?
It's been over a year and he hasn't done anything wrong.
So the court is compelling you to serve 9 more years on a law that's since been deemed unconstitutional that the governor has changed. Correct.
And our team uncovered evidence that freed John Claude Muse. But his case took a twist you may not believe in our investigation of Florida justice from the perspective of we the people.
The darkest moment may be that moment just before the dawn of a great fulfillment.
When the Civil Rights Act hit a blockade in Washington,
it is one of the most dangerous pieces of legislation ever presented to the Congress.
Dr. King came to Florida to lead a decisive battle in the brutal summer of 1964.
You may have beaten me, but you haven't defeated me.
Hear the untold story of how the city of St. Augustine became the epicenter of America's civil rights movement.
I started pouring acid in the pool. Our whole foreign policy and everything else go to hell over this.
And the guys tried to get us out, and we weren't getting out. I didn't know anything about those pictures until I saw them in the papers. When I saw them, I said, damn.
We'll travel from Tampa to St. Augustine to Atlanta to meet the legends and the leaders.
You don't get mad, you stay smart.
From Dr. King's top lieutenant, Andrew Young.
Their faith was so strong.
To the army of students who would not back down.
How did your family feel about your integrating the schools?
My mother was a nervous wreck.
Through waves of beatings, firebombs, and bullets, see how a peaceful uprising prevailed.
It's the way to go.
And see how the next generation is carrying the torch.
Daddy said, men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other.
We'll sit down with Dr. Bernice King, who now leads the King Center to keep her father's dream alive.
This is a win for justice.
This is the story of Florida's foot soldiers that starts long ago on the walkway to freedom. At the dawn of the civil rights movement, before the fire hoses and police dogs of Birmingham, before the beatings of St. Augustine and Bloody Sunday in Selma, one city rose above the rest.
Tampa had to get this right.
Tampa integrated with peace and showed the rest of the country how to do it.
So this is the perfect place, the perfect time.
It's a story of leaders who sacrificed their power to bring us together.
That there's something bigger than yourself, and I'm going to pay a price for bringing this.
A story of how Tampa's roads and parks got their names.
Leroy Collins Boulevard and East Fowler Avenue.
We are at Julian B. Lane Waterfront Park.
And a story seldom told.
And I thought, I never knew any of this stuff, and I don't think anybody around me knows this.
Where are you in this picture?
That's me right there.
I'm Craig Patrick, and for the next half hour, we'll meet Tampa's civil rights pioneers, hear their stories firsthand, and then watch it come to life in a play called When the Righteous Triumph.
The lunch counter is closed.
theater's meant to bring two opposing folk together.
With lessons to help us avoid conflict today and find common ground.
We can do it without violence. We can do it together.
We'll start with old Channel 13 news films that haven't aired for decades, as the stage is set for Tampa's path to equality.